Why are we scared of God? Why are we scared of what he can do for us? Why are we scared of how he can fill us up and sustain us? What's the deal with that? Take a sip. It's time for Coffee for the Culture. What's up? Good day, beautiful people, saints of the Most High. So, just a quick little word for this week. I've been recently reading through the book of Exodus. And I think that there's so much focus on, the initial kind of beginning of Exodus, really the first half in a way where, it's Moses and Aaron and the plagues, like you got the burning bush, you got, the parting of the Red Sea, everything like that. I like to say the Prince of Egypt version of, the book of Exodus. But how about that second half? In that second half, there's a lot that is in there that really tells me about, the heart of some people, and even where their mind goes. And even when I look at society today, I can still see a lot of what was happening even back in the early stages of life, back in the book of Exodus. So what am I getting at? So, after the Israelites had been, freed from slavery, free from bondage, as I said, they have parted through the Red Sea. Like they've seen all of this greatness of God. They've seen how God has brought them through. Yet, one of the first things that, they think about after being in the wilderness is, they're like, Moses, man, you got us out here finna die of hunger and thirst. And let's go back. Like, we was getting sustained there. And in that moment, God hears the pleas of his people. And he says, all right, Moses and Aaron, like, tell the people this what's going to happen. This is what I need you to do. And basically he sustains them with food, sustains them with manna, with quail, like gives them what they need to keep existing, to keep living this life to glorify God. So they have that, they're like, okay, we got food, we got sustenance now. But then they get to another point where it's just like, all righty, like, what are we going to worship? What are we going to do? And they get to a spot where up on the mountain is the presence of God himself. They can hear it. They can see it, like God is right there. And what happens instead? They're like, oh no, Moses, you go up there. You go. Moses, you got this. And in turn, they're worshiping this golden calf. So what's this got to do with anything? Well, here's what I was thinking about in the time of reading through the book of Exodus. How often do we have the presence of God right there, yet we worship other things? How often do we have the opportunity to be fulfilled and sustained by God, yet we go to trying to be filled by other things? So what I want us to think about this year and in this moment, in this season of our life is, what have we been using to fill us up that is not supposed to be there. So I'm not even talking about it's not of God. We watch sermons sometimes. We will watch other messages of people. We will be attending someone else's online service and getting our word and our nourishment from there instead of us just opening the good book and hearing what God has to speak to us through that. There are people right now, and I know this is going to sound hard, there are people right now who are going to the beach, who are going to, amusement parks, who are doing everything else but going to the church house. And then they say, oh, COVID. Well, COVID it's everywhere. And so if you can go to the beach, if you can go to Disney World, if you can do all this, then you can come to stand in the presence of God at the feet of Jesus, and be and bask in that glory. And so what I don't want us to do is be like the Israelites in this case. It's not about that they didn't have sustenance, because they were right. They didn't have the bread. They didn't have that manna. They didn't have the things that they needed when they got freed. But they went to Moses. They didn't necessarily cry out to God and say, God, thank you for this freedom. Now, please fill us up. They didn't say okay, God, let's go up this, we're going to go up this mountain together as a group and we're going to, worship you and be able to stand in your presence. They decided to do what was convenient. And I think that's what we do at times. We go to the Netflix, we go to the Hulu, even now the Disney Plus and everything, because that is convenient. And so we give worship to that. We go to the YouTube of the cool sermons from, the much younger generation of pastors. Or we go to the very deep theologians of the world and try to get our sustenance from them. When at the end of the day, what it comes down to is God. We are babies. We are children of God. We are babies, and I'm key in using that. We are babies that need to go to God right now and not waste any more time. And so I don't even want to necessarily say challenge. I strongly, highly encourage you all to go and seek God. Before you even keep trying to pursue other things this year, if you have not taken the time to truly pursue God, to the depths of your soul, to try to really understand what the calling is on your life, go and do that now. Peace and blessings, everybody. One love.